Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. For this match I'm going to be playing a deck I've been wanting to play for a while. So this is Kingdra and Greninja. As you can see, I'm starting off with a mulligan, but ever since I saw the scans for the original XY set, I sort of had this idea in mind. It just took me a really long time to get the cards. So I'm going to start off with a Voltorb in the active and a Froakie. It looks like my opponent is playing a Virizion deck. And I'm going to level ball here for a Horsey, put it on the bench, and my hand is kind of awful right now. I can't really draw anything next turns. I don't have any supporters, and I have a bunch of stuff that evolves. A bunch of evolutions in hand. So my opponent's going to attach a Muscle Band, a Plasma Energy. I can evolve my Froakie here, and Horsey as well, using Rare Candy, getting into Kingdra. And I can play one of my Electrodes here to evolve it and hopefully be able to use Magnetic Draw, its ability to draw 4 cards, and I really hope one of those is a supporter. And I lucked out and one of them is. So I get Shauna off of this. So right now I'm debating what to do with that water energy. I'm going to attach it to Electrode, then retreat into Kingdra here. Just because it kind of helps to have water in the discard here, since you could use Dragon Vortex. And I used that. Serena didn't really get me anything, or Shauna, sorry. I will here play another Froakie on the bench after my opponent just sort of passes after benching of Virizion. And I'm able to get here a Seadra. Then I can evolve into Frogadier, and here I'm going to actually use Tri-Bullet. Doesn't make sense to use Dragon Vortex since I don't really have enough water energy in my discard. My opponent now has finally enough energy to attack me, and he does bench a Genesect, so it's a little bit scary. He's going to hit me with Emerald Slash. He's going to be able to attach 2 grass energies. I am very fearful here of Genesect because he will be able to red signal out anything on my bench and knock it out, potentially. So now I get a second Kingdra into play, so things are looking quite well, since it looks like my opponent had a slow start. So I'm going to end here, getting another Froakie, which I will bench. I get a water energy. Now I can finally use Water Shuriken, which will allow me to do 30 damage here to Genesect, as long as I discard that water energy in my hand. And here I'm once again going to use Tri-Bullet, but this time I'm going to limit my damage on to Genesect and Virizion, ignoring the Deoxys that was on the bench before, since he probably doesn't have the energy to attack with it. It's sort of useless to focus on that. So now my opponent, he may want to retreat into Genesect here and take the knockout. Or I think a better play would just be to keep his Virizion active, Emerald Slash again, and attach more grass energy and to get more in play. So he has backup in case I'm able to knock out his active Genesect. Or his Virizion, sorry. So my opponent here is going to play a Sky Arrow Bridge, which will reduce the retreat cost of all basic Pokemon. He puts down another Virizion. And he does just what I think is a better play here. He will Emerald Slash and probably is going to attach to that newly benched Genesect here. And that's exactly what we see happen. That actually gets in the knockout. On Kingdra, I'm going to send out Froakie. Since it's a basic, it now has free retreat. I'm sort of looking here at what the best play here is. I'm debating whether or not to Water Shuriken or use a Super Rod. I decided to play the Super Rod since I do have a Juniper in hand, and I'm tempted here to play it. So we'll Water Shuriken, this time doing 30 damage onto the Genesect that just came into play, just to make it easier to knock out any given Pokemon that he decides to promote. And I will Juniper my hand away, unfortunately getting rid of some important Pokemon there. But I do get a water energy off of this card and 2 Professor's Letters, so that's pretty good. And now I'm sort of debating what to do. I can use Professor's Letter here to get water energy and then use a dowsing machine to discard them, which will allow me to do more damage with Dragon Vortex here. But I'm not quite sure if that's the best play to do right now. But I think I'm deciding that it might be worth it. So here I have to decide what to get back. It's either Super Rod, Level Ball, really. I don't really need another supporter right now since I have that chorus in hand. So I'm going to get back a Level Ball and use it to get another Horsey. So that play right there may just come back to haunt me. I will foreshadow a bit. And I will send up Kingdra here. So now with Tri-Bullet here, I'm actually going to use that. So I don't think I had enough energy in the discard pile quite yet to get another knockout, or to get a first knockout. But I will soften up just about everything on his side of the field, and hopefully a Dragon Vortex will be able to knock whatever EX he promotes into the active. So now he's going to promote Genesect. It needs one more energy, and it looks like he can manually attach it. We still haven't seen a red signal, but a Juniper gets played, discarding actually a Plasma Energy because he was going for the G Booster. So now with this, he can one-shot Kingdra, and this will set me back a bit. So now I'm going to push up a Horsey into the active, again just because it has free retreat. So I do manage to get a rare candy into a Kingdra here, fortunately. So I can actually attack this coming turn. And now I can use this Professor's Letter I have in hand to get water energy. That will allow me to attack. I still have 3 in my deck, so that means I should Dragon Vortex soon, just because I want those energies back in there. And I'm going to Water Shuriken onto the something on the bench. Really is the best play here, deciding whether or not to go for Virizion or Genesect, and I go for Genesect because I will have enough energy in play here to knock out the active. So I will play that N just to get my opponent down to a smaller hand size. And now I'm debating what to bench here. I'm going to go with another Froakie. And here I'm going to Dragon Vortex for 140. That's way too much damage, but given the sort of spread right now, that's the only real way I was going to knock out on Genesect, and I really needed to. I couldn't afford to leave it in active since I did see energy switches, so he could potentially have pulled off another attack in a consecutive turn. So my opponent is going to promote another Genesect, and he benches a Pikachu. So that's kind of a odd addition for this type of deck, but I guess with Yveltal being such a big threat, it's not a dumb addition. It's quite a smart thing to do. My opponent is going to retreat here into Virizion, and it looks like he's going to Emerald Slash in order to just power up his Genesect, and now it has 4 energy. Here I'm actually going to Tool Scrapper away the Muscle Band off of his Virizion, play a Level Ball. So here I'm actually running out of Pokemon. I don't have another Kingdra, but I'm going to get Horsey anyway, and I'm going to Ultra Ball away things, I guess. The Voltorb. So the only Kingdra I have is the Kingdra in hand, unfortunately. And I think here the best bet would have been, or should have been, a fail on that Ultra Ball. I just was trying to play my hand down so I could play Magnetic Draw, but I think that was a huge misplay right there. So now if I want to play a Juniper, I am essentially going to have to discard absolutely everything of use to me, and that's really unfortunate. I will, however, here Tri-Bullet, dealing 30 to Virizion, both of them, and the Genesect. So here my opponent is going to push up Genesect, and it can hit me here for the knockout. But he can choose to red signal something, and if he does, that does give me an opening. So we see an Ultra Ball, and that's probably going to go for Raichu, which is smart because I am weak to lightning. And then we see a Colress for 9 and an energy switch, so he's going to remove that extra energy off of Genesect. And then he plays a town map, revealing in 2 Junipers, which is kind of sad to have prized, especially now. But then he's going to play a Professor's Letter. I'm not sure if he has any energy left. It looks like he failed the search. And then we see a Megalo Cannon that knocks out Kingdra. And I get to promote Froakie. So here I have to make a really tough call. So if I want to attack here for the knockout, I need 2 energies, 1 to attack with and 1 to Water Shuriken away. So here I'm going to attach a water energy onto Greninja and then discard a Juniper, or play a Juniper, discarding away essentially all my evolutions. And here it's going to be do or die. The only real attacker I will have left is Greninja. I'm just hoping my opponent doesn't have a way of knocking it out this next turn. If he does, then I pretty much automatically lose. I'm going to Water Shuriken, hitting Virizion on the bench. I'm going to Miss Slash for 50, knocking out the active Genesect. So here I will draw 2 prizes. One's a water and one's a Juniper. So those aren't going to help me if my opponent can get a knockout. I'm just hoping he doesn't draw in energy. So he's going to play an Ultra Ball, discarding a Tropical Beach it looks like, and gets another Pikachu. So he'll be able to Circle Circuit, and he does get the Grass energy. So with this and the Muscle Band, he's going to do way more damage than is necessary. Or actually slightly more than was necessary. So I was hoping he wasn't able to draw that energy and draw an extra Pokemon. But with that, I'm just officially through. I don't have anything that can hit for enough damage. I'm going to play that Ultra Ball just to confirm. And I have no Pokemon left. None of my Pokemon can evolve anymore. I should have, I guess, used that Dowsing Machine for a Super Rod and played that instead. But here I guess I can try to Fin Smack and see if anything happens. I can just hit him for 10. So he still has to take 2 more prizes, as do I. But here, if he Circle Circuits, it's an instant knockout. I'm a very low HP basic, but for whatever reason, my opponent is taking his time. I'm not sure if he realizes that he has the win quite yet. So yeah, as you can see, I did discard all my stage 2s here already. But my opponent's going to end. I'm not sure why. Bring us both down to 2. He can hit me for weakness here. I'm going to push up Froakie. And I'm just going to end my turn. There's quite literally nothing I can do to win. So that means that that's a loss. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.